Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Fusion of Honor, where we cover everything that happens in MLW and Ring of Honor. Now, last week we did have some big news with both of the brands or both of the promotions that we cover. MLW had their pay-per-view, the Battle Riot 3, that is actually going to be a free show, so to speak. It's going to air on July 24th. And we also had Ring of Honor's Best in the World pay-per-view. If you haven't already checked out our review of Best in the World, please do so because, well, I mean, everything that we're going to talk about tonight is going to be coming out of that show and this week's episode. So you got to be caught up. But yeah, they had a really good pay-per-view, and they had a pretty good TV episode with a nice little middle match that got a lot of attention. But if we're talking about attention, there's nobody better than the Round Table Rebel when it comes to getting and grabbing attention and making sure that his presence is felt. Of course, I am talking about my co-host, the three-time baby-making champ. Ness, how are you doing this Friday evening?
I'm doing lovely this Friday evening. True Hills, what's the deal? We're back with another action-packed episode of Fusion of Honor. And I'm not going to lie, I marked out a little bit during one of these matches. I'm just going to let you guys try to guess. I'm pretty sure my partner StatKing knows where I'm going as soon as we start reviewing it. So let's just get right into it.
Yes, let us do just that. But before we do, we got to remind you guys, hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe if you have not already. So we had this is a kind of a rare treat, so to speak, with Ring of Honor, because normally we're treated to 2 matches a week, and sometimes when they go for 3, we've seen shenanigans happen that causes one of the matches to be cut short or causes one of the matches to not even happen. But that was not the case in this episode this week. We did get all 3 matches that we were promised. And the first of them was Dante Caballero and Joe Keys taking on the Briscoes. And this one was a nice little tag match, a nice little way for the Briscoes to get back into the swing of things. And I liked this one. Ness, what did you think about this one? I thought it had a nice way to just keep the momentum going from Best in the World by focusing on the Briscoes. What did you think?
That's exactly what I was thinking as well, because you guys are just getting back on page. You know, we're going into Best in the World. It's like they really have to keep that momentum going after beating the shit out of each other. You know, so now it's like, all right, let's get back on track. Let's focus. And that's what this match was for. Like Dante Caballero and Joe Keys, you know, they showed some fight, but it obviously it wasn't enough. It's the Briscoes, you know, it's like the dojo guys. It's like young lions, you know, going against the seasoned veterans of like New Japan or things like that. So where they just tried to show up, you know, tried to show them that these guys had got heart, but the Briscoes pretty much ripped their hearts out and ate it for lunch.
Yeah, there was a lot of action in this one, and it kind of felt as though no matter what happened, the Briscoes were really kind of not in danger of losing the match, which, I mean, to be fair, they are an 11-time Ring of Honor World Champion, so you kind of do feel as though they should be in that. No. But yeah, this one was a nice little match to kind of get that momentum behind the Briscoes, keep them moving. They're taking down teams. They're continuing to progress. Will we see them challenge Violence Unlimited for those tag team titles soon? I don't know. But if they do, and it's still Violence Unlimited that has them, that will be a really, really good match.
Yeah, but I agree with that.
Yeah, but speaking of really good matches, I enjoyed this middle one very, very much so, which is interesting because I didn't really like other aspects of it from a view to the future, so to speak. And what I'm talking about is PJ Black taking on Flip Gordon. Now we know that Flip is coming off of that loss to EC3 at the pay-per-view. He tapped out. That's how it happens sometimes. But he's trying to bounce back here with a win against PJ Black. Now, This is a match that is the longest of the night. It goes just over 13 minutes. Flip picks up the win. And I'm not mad at Flip for picking up the win. Like, that's what should be happening as we're building this person towards challenging for the world title. He just came off a pay-per-view loss. He needs a win. My problem with it was that I don't think there's really that much value in beating PJ Black right now. He's somebody who's just coming back to Ring of Honor, and he's not somebody that has that much clout even when he was in Ring of Honor before. So, yeah, you gave Flip a win, but if we're already looking ahead to Glory by Honor in August, and August really is right around the corner. It's a month away. Yeah. If you're only going to have 2 to 3 matches a week, Flip needs to do a lot more to be able to get himself in contention. I mean, he has the shot in his pocket, and we know he's going to get it. But in order for him to feel like an actual threat to Bandito, he needs to get some more wins. But what do you think about this one?
Yeah, it actually surprised me. It was better than I was expecting. At first I was just gonna I'll watch the highlights, but I was like, no, I'm gonna watch this match, and it was really good. You know, PJ, it came off like I didn't know who to look at as the heel here because they're both pretty much heels, and it kind of worked out like Flip actually adhered to the code of honor for once, which he hasn't done in quite some time. Or if he does, it's like the most disrespectful way to do it. I guess it's because PJ Black's is pretty much like a heel as well. So they're like meeting on that aspect. But then like the match itself, both of these guys' styles, even though Flip is trying to change his style for the most part because he is a heel now, they pretty much mirror each other with the way that their move sets, the way they move around the ring, things of that nature. So it was nice to kind of see these guys pretty much be stalemated until, you know, certain aspect of the match went on. But my favorite part of this match, my absolute favorite part of this match, the Mecca, Brian Johnson on commentary. Because once again, this match was good, really good. But the commentary from the Mecca made this all so much better. He was, oh my God, he's extremely entertaining. Contradicting himself so many times on commentary, just contradicting himself, saying one thing, knowing that he does that, like, oh yeah, Flip's cheating, man. Why would he do that? Who does that? And they're like, you do that. He's like, oh, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't know. No, you don't know what you're talking about.
The Mecca would never.
Yeah, and then he's like telling Caprice and Ian Riccaboni, he's like, you guys are trying to put yourselves over. Nope. And the whole time he's on commentary, he's putting himself over. Like here and there, he would put over Flip, and here and there, he would put over PJ Black. At one point, he threw both of them under the bus. Even PJ Black, that's his tag partner, you know. But it was entertaining. It was very entertaining. We got a glimpse of not anytime soon, but down the line, further in his career, that he could make it for a decent face as well, because usually heels that can really talk and get you emotionally invested in, you know, the things that they say in their promos, they are usually work out to be pretty good faces, you know. And then after the match was over, when Flip went to go put on the submission, I forgot the name of the submission, the tap, I forgot the name of the damn thing, but
yeah,
the STF, yeah, the STF. That's submit to Flip. There we
go.
You know what made me remember it? The STF, submit to Flip. Yeah. So when Flip puts in the submission after the match and Brian Johnson runs out and, you know, makes him run out of the ring, I'm like, well, damn, you know, what if fans were there at this point in time? Like, what happens when fans are there and they see this and he goes full baby face? I don't want that right now. Not right now. Not at the moment. I need Brian Johnson to continue to be this Brian Johnson that he is, that we're all grown to love. But when it comes, I think he's really going to get over. You know, it's just the personality. He's just like above and beyond right now. And as you can see, I said the match is good. I'm talking about the guy that was on commentary.
I was about to bring that up.
I'm just talking about him on commentary. Well, I'm already a mark. If you guys didn't know, if this is your first time watching, I'm a mark for Brian Johnson. If you watch all the time, you would know that I'm a mark for Brian Johnson, and that's going to be great. So going forward, I'm ready to see if, that carries over, because again, Flip does need more momentum going into this championship title match against Bandito at Glory by Honor. And I think that they mentioned on commentary that he's already beaten Brian Johnson. So at this point, he already just attacked his tag team partner. Let Brian Johnson, try to avenge that, and we'll get another match. I'm pretty sure that's going to be entertaining as well. We'll get the commentary during the match from Brian Johnson. Flip could probably pick up another needed win for his momentum.
Yeah, this makes me think of two things. The first is that he reminds me of the Acclaimed in AEW. Live crowds are going to turn them face.
Yeah,
and the other thing is that it reminds me of in football or in basketball how it's how some guys will be mic'd up like inside tracks and all that.
Yeah,
and in football. That would be hilarious if they ever did that on Brian Johnson. Like during a match, they found a way to put like a microphone on him, and you could hear what he was saying and everything. I mean, it'd be difficult because a lot of times in wrestling, matches are called in the ring, and that would be difficult. But if they could pull that off, that would be absolutely hilarious. Imagine if you can hear him shit talking the guy while he's wrestling them. That would be hilarious. But if we are talking about shit talking that happens in the ring during a match, well, this main event of the night definitely has that, and in spades. This is a really interesting tag match because it is bringing into the forefront our faction wars. All those plates that we're talking about spinning. This is a good indicator of where we see this going forward. This is Violence Unlimited, Brody King and Tony Deppen taking on LFI's Dragon Lee and Kenny King. And there in the mix is Jonathan Gresham and Jay Lethal. Now, with the exception of Gresham and Kenny King, all of these guys had matches against each other at Best in the World. We had Tony Deppen versus Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee took that TV title back. We had Brody King versus Jay Lethal. Brody King was a beast and made Jay Lethal look human, which is difficult to do.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Gresham is just like, why am I wrestling a third match in like 4 days? Like, what's going on here? What's going on here, guys? And Kenny King is just like, I didn't do anything, but I don't want to be in this match because I'm smart. And the story of this match is something really interesting. And I know I use that word a lot on here, but I like a lot of what Ring of Honor does when they show the psychology and the thought process of the wrestlers. Do we wrestle with honor? Do we wrestle with violence? Or do we wrestle with intelligence? And LFI brings intelligence to the table. They know this is a triple threat match. They know that this is a match that is in their favor. Why even bother when you know these guys are going to kill each other anyway? As soon as the bell rings, they basically just leave the ring. Yeah, and for the majority of this match, they're not even really that involved. They pick and choose their spots, and they do it very well. Meanwhile, we have Gresham, we have Lethal, who are saying the bell has rung. We are going to fight with honor. And then you have Violence Unlimited, which says the bell has rung, so somebody has to die. And it's a really cool just blending that's going on. And that's one of the things that I like about this faction war is that each side has a compelling argument as to why they're right and why their methodology makes sense. And tonight, it's LFI who's able to pick up the win. You can see it even from the beginning of the match. We can see Gresham and Lethal reaching out for the handshake, trying to do the code of honor. Meanwhile, Kenny King and Dragon Lee are just like, we could care less. we could care less. And as the match progresses, this is a well thought out story, and Kenny King is going to pick and choose the right spot where Gresham has just taken a big hit from Tony Deppen. He's going to get Deppen out of the ring, and he's going to go for the pin, and that's the 1, 2, 3. And Gresham, if it's not a pure rules match, apparently Gresham has kryptonite, and that kryptonite is LFI tonight. when he takes the pinfall and the loss. After the match, we get a little bit of jaw-jacking back and forth between Violence Unlimited and the Foundation. Brody King and Jay Lethal get into a little bit of a shoving match. They're clearly not finished with each other after their match at Best in the World. And I just want to see how this continues to play out. We got a month. We got a month until Glory by Honor, and I want to see how they are going to find different combinations of this faction war matches to give us at that pay-per-view. But Ness, what did you think about this main event, and how do you like the faction wars as it's continuing to play out?
Well, going into the match when they're all doing their vignettes and the promo videos, I'm gonna just break it down by group. LFI, they pretty much already say, yo, we're facing Gresham and Lethal. They're not the tag team champions. This doesn't mean anything to us. We don't care. Like, we don't have to be involved. We don't really want to be involved in this match because it means nothing. And he's right and he's kind of not right, because a victory here would propel them further in the ranks of a title shot for the tag team championships. But I understand what he's saying. Like, it's not Rhett Titus and Tracy Williams, so it doesn't really matter in that aspect. When it came down to Violence Unlimited, Brody did all the talking, which I wanted. And then he's like, yeah, it's eat or get ate or eaten. And then, you got Tony Deppen on the side. I'm like, oh my God, it was subtle and it added to it. But I'm like, don't do that, Tony. Don't do that. But then, man, the promo from Jay Lethal, so much conviction, the fire behind him. He's like, it's wrestling. This is professional wrestling. This is Ring of Honor wrestling, not Ring of Honor bar fight, not Ring of Honor death match, none of that. It's wrestling. And as I know that, like, we're both in the Ring of Honor face group, and so many people that are just latched onto the idea of what the Foundation stands for, and just the idea of professional wrestling in itself. Nothing else out of that. None of the sports entertainment, none of the or death match or hardcore, any of that. They just want pure wrestling. And I know that those people felt every word that Jay Lethal was saying, because it hit me. Yeah, because he's just like he got to be like top 5 promos and like period of all wrestling right now. Probably maybe even higher than that. Maybe possibly top 3, because he can really lay it into you, make you feel what he's saying, and you're just like, well, shit, he has a point, And then you got Jonathan Gresham, and he's just like, yeah, of course. He just like walks away. He doesn't say anything. He just like shakes his head and just like, yeah, because
he's still in pain.
That too. He's just like, look, I'm here to, you guys should know by now, I'm Jonathan Gresham. I'm the pure title champion. Jay Lethal, we're both part of the Foundation. You guys should know this stuff by now. So Lethal, Gresham was just like, I'll just let Lethal do all the talking. But then when it came down to the match, LFI did exactly what we would expect out of them. Picked their spots, was barely in the match pretty much until the finish or the finishing stretch of the match. They pretty much jumped everybody at one point, tried to jump Brody King. He wasn't going for it, which, again, that made sense because Brody is a large man, bigger than both of these guys, and he could, overpower them, which he did. But I didn't see Jonathan Gresham taking this pin. I'll be completely honest. I don't know who it was going to be, but it wasn't going to be Jonathan Gresham, in my opinion. And the fact that it was, I'm just like, wow, that means a lot. They pin a guy, and he doesn't get pinned like that. He got pinned at the last 2 times we've seen him get pinned was at the pay-per-view, and then just this episode of Ring of Honor. He hasn't legitimately lost the match in a long time. He's 11-0 in the pure division. He had to.
I think the last time he lost a match was when he and Lethal lost the tag titles.
Yeah, but it was Lethal that got pinned, right? Or was it?
I forget at the moment.
I think it was. I may be wrong. Well, we'll go back. We'll next episode we'll get that stat. Or StatKing, he might just do it now. But yeah, I did not expect Jonathan Gresham because of just how strong he is in the pure title division. And that's probably why. But it's like, this is a tag match. It doesn't really mean anything. The tag titles were at the time in the Foundation at the time. But, after the pay-per-view, they lost Violence Unlimited. And then it's just like, wow, he probably doesn't care. He probably really doesn't matter as long as he's still a champion. At the end of the day, Jonathan Gresham is still the sole remaining champion in the Foundation. And from the attitude that he kind of had been going forward from his matches, I think that's really more of what he's really more focused on and really more worried about. It's just the pure division. He doesn't really seem like
it was lethal.
It was lethal. See, lethal. So it was lethal. So it's weird. It was weird to me to see Jonathan Gresham get pinned. I'm not even going to lie, just because of how strong he usually is. So, and then again, having him pull double duty at the pay-per-view, that he kind of actually just went out with a strong loss. He was pretty much double teamed by two different guys, from two different factions. First it was first it was Deppin, and then it was Kenny King. So it took two guys to put him down. So at least he does go out looking strong for the most part. But it's just weird that he took the pin, But I do want to see where they go from this now, because it's like outside of the pure division, the Foundation look like it's crumbling for the most part. Is they lost the tag titles. Lethal lost to Brody King. And at this point, can these guys that pin Jonathan Gresham, can they get a shot at the pure title because they pinned him? Kenny King got the pin. Homicide got the pin at Best in the World. Like, are they gonna, have that coincide, or is it just like, oh well, you guys aren't in the pure division, then it's not going to matter, If
we look at from when Ring of Honor came back with the pure title tournament, Gresham has not lost a singles match.
Yeah,
and the only time he has lost has been
in tag
matches like those, but against teams that make sense. They lost against Shane Taylor Promotions. They lost up against Dragon Lee and Kenny King, but he wasn't pinned.
Right.
And they lost against LFI, but that was a situation where LFI was doing the crazy cheating and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't think he took the pin in that one either. So yeah, every time this is the first time I think he has been pinned. And then just prior at Best in the World gets pinned. Right. So this is a situation where the Foundation is looking It's not looking good for them right now at all.
And it kind of, and I'm not gonna say it sucks, but it's like weird, like because of now this is what I'm saying, because the idea or the mannerisms that Jonathan Gresham has been presenting lately have really seemed like he's been about himself at this point, and when your team is losing and you are still a champion, it's like you guys got to step it up. I'm literally carrying you on my back. So now is he, getting tired of the losing? Is he tired of being the only one, pretty much for the most part, still a winner because he's still a champion? And the only time he's really been losing in tag matches when he has to rely on other members of the Foundation. So yeah. I think that's very interesting as well. I want to see if they play up on that and where they go with that as well.
Since they've come back in September, he's never not been champion. He was either a tag champion, then he was tag and pure, and now he's just pure champion. Yeah. So in some way, shape, or form, he has been a champion for pretty much almost a year. September will be a year. So on TV at least. So longer if you consider when they were inactive. So yeah, if they are teasing a Gresham break with the Foundation, that'll be really, really cool to see. Considering how do you be honorable and a heel? I don't know. That's something to try to piece together, and I don't know how exactly they're going to do that, but Did you get a chance to catch this week's Ring of Honor week by week?
I did not catch week by week.
Then I have a nice little surprise for you.
Oh boy!
Just how we were talking when we were doing our Best in the World recap about who could be facing Shane Taylor Promotions down the line. A certain co-host of mine, said that it would be really cool to see the Bouncers and Ken Dixon maybe challenge Shane Taylor Promotions for those 6-man tag team championships. And lo and behold, on this week's Week by Week, we have the Bouncers with Ken Dixon in a 6-man tag match against Primal Fear, the team that challenged Shane Taylor Promotions. And I'll put this picture up here and let you decide who you think won that match.
Holy shit. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and say Primal. Nah, it's clearly that's just Brian Malone is by himself. That's a whole lot of man.
Here's the best part. Here's the best part. The way the match started was the two bouncers are in the ring, and they tell Ken Dixon. Ken Dixon has like a bandolier of beer cans. And he's just wearing like regular clothes, like he's wearing a polo shirt and jeans and stuff. And they go, "You can take a break." And he goes and sits at the announce table and is drinking, like he's like trying to get not the announce tables, the ringside, like the timekeepers.
Timekeeper,
yeah. And he's like, "Do you want a beer? Like, do you want a beer?" And it's just Malonis and Bruiser taking the three of these guys out, and I was like, oh, man, Ness called it. Ness was like, let's get these guys in the ring against Shane Taylor. Now, granted, eventually he comes into the match at different points, but they picked up a nice, solid win on Week by Week. And who knows, maybe they are going to be the next challengers for those 6-man titles. And if that is the case, then you may need to get a Nostradamus meme from Josh, because that'll be a nicely called one.
Yeah, I would love that. I know that one thing, they're going to have to reinforce that ring. Like 3 times as much as usual, because that's going to be a whole lot of bodies in that thing.
Absolutely. But finally, guys, we need to talk about this week's Women of Honor. There wasn't anything new, but it's more about the build for next week. And that is Quinn McKay versus Mandy Leon. So what they did was they showed us the Quinn McKay-Angelina Love match. Again, they replayed that, and we can see that, they are definitely behind Quinn McKay as a face, as one of the baby faces of the division. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they are going to have her be a part of this tournament. I have to believe that she beats Mandy Leon and that she's in the tournament, but then she's going to have to face Mandy Leon again if she does. So maybe they let her into the tournament and then something happens the second time around. And that's actually a smart way to do it if that is what they do, because to me, that would show 2 things. One, Quinn McKay still has a ways to go and still needs to develop. And 2, that Mandy Leon is smarter than we give her credit for, because she can learn from her mistakes. So Ness, are you looking forward to that match next week?
Yeah, actually I am. I don't really think that much of Mandy in the ring, no offense to her, but I think Quinn has some upside. She looked pretty decent in her showing against Angelina Love. I think she has definitely has a chance to go over. It would just make sense for her to beat Mandy and then be in the tournament. Now, can she pull it off 2 times in a row? That remains to be seen. If anything, if she doesn't beat her clean twice, I can see a dirty finish, or Mandy getting disqualified. So kind of keeps her strong. Quinn doesn't like Hulkamania. I'm not even a wrestler now. All of a sudden I am, and I'm beating everybody. That type of thing. So it would just be good for character development. But I really hope they don't put her in it just to like for our first round exit, man. That would suck. That would suck a lot. But they're like going again, story, just developing the story to have her go through the tournament to get to Angelina Love again. You know, I think that would be great. It would make a lot of sense. It would be, she would have a lot of the fan base around her. She already has backstage personnel, the talent on the roster. Again, we're in the ROH experience group. A bunch of people in there are on the Quinn McKay train. So she has a lot of support right now. And it would just be in their best interest to strike while the iron's hot, so to speak.
Yeah, I think, and this is, I don't know really her status or anything like that, but I think it'd be kind of interesting if Quinn wins the first match, and then the second match, because of how they can schedule that one later due to going through the brackets.
Yeah.
If Allie Rex costs her the match in order to impress the Allure,
yes,
I think that would be a nice twist, and it would give Quinn somebody who she can face off as she builds towards trying to get a win against Mandy Leon again, and then going after Angelina Love.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Again, more storytelling, because we've seen Allie Rex, pretty much her devote herself and her undying love for Angelina Love, saying like, oh, I watched you when I was in high school and growing up, I guess it was supposed to be a compliment. Angelina Love didn't take it as a compliment, but it kind of it would just be good. And then that would give that third party to be in the Allure. We have the experienced, the two experienced ladies in Mandy Leon and Angelina Love, and then you just got the young upstart, so to speak, the blue chipper and Allie Rex. She's just pretty much just new to the Ring of Honor audience. So that would, and then, like you said, that's somebody possibly around the same stage of development as Quinn McKay, and they both can, develop against each other, be a nice little feud, nice story going into it where, she has to run the gauntlet of the Allure, knocking them all off one by one. And, again, they're trying to, and I don't think she's going to be the first Ring of Honor women's champion out of this tournament, but again, that's going to go further down the line to whenever or if it happens that that's something that the audience and the fan base wants. They're just clamoring for it to happen. So when it does finally happen, everybody's happy and they can all rejoice that she finally made it to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, and just if this is going to happen, or if we're just fantasy booking, whatever the case may be, Allie Rex does not need to be fully healed to pull this off.
No.
She can be on crutches. She can just, show up and cause some kind of minor distraction because, again, due to the level of greenness that Quinn has, that little bit of a distraction can be what puts it over the top, because she can be in a position where she has found a way to tune out Angelina Love because she's game planned for that.
Yeah.
But now the question is, can your game plan adapt or evolve on the fly? So if that's what they want to go with, who knows? I don't know what they're going to come up with, but it'll be something that I'm looking forward to seeing. Next week is going to be a nice one for that, and I want to see some Bandito and Flip Gordon interactions, because we didn't really get too much of Bandito Roosh interactions. No. They know they have a month now. They only had 2 weeks. Now they have a month. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how we can get this ball rolling on this. I know I saw a stat that said something along the lines of Bandito has not beaten Flip Gordon in Ring of Honor before.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah, so that'll be that is something to use as a jumping point for Flip to be able to say, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, I can tap out to EC3 because I have Bandito's number, and that's all I need to have. And Bandito can say, well, most wanted champion for a reason. Like, people coming after me, but that just means I gotta step it up.
Yeah, because Roosh is not like the whole, I'll use this as an example. The Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns feud. I'm not finished with you. I'm not. Yeah, he's there. Roosh is not finished with Bandito whatsoever.
I mean, I did see some interesting things about Rush's contract. This was some months ago, and it had to do with like maybe I think it was they were saying his contract with Ring of Honor will be up at the end of the year or something like that. So maybe that's why they decided to take the title off him now, so they can either renegotiate or whatever the case may be. But they don't want him, being in some kind of position of power as any potential deadline gets closer. So that'll be something that we have to pay attention to, especially because can't really say over in Jacksonville, but over there. Yeah. There's a guy who's looking for Death Triangle, and we don't really know why he's looking for Death Triangle. And you never know. Maybe he wants a little backup of his own. Because if Ring of Honor loves factions, AEW loves factions.
Yeah.
I think the only American company that is bigger on factions than AEW is probably Ring of Honor, because they have such a limited roster. So there's so many people that just automatically slot into factions. But we'll have to keep an eye on all of this, because Ness's heartstrings can only be pulled so much when it comes to his luchadors.
Yeah, man. I mean, as much of a fan as I was of Roosh, seeing Bandito pick up the victory and get the title and be the top guy right now, it's like boom, 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 boom. So, and I just hope that they let him flourish, let him have a meaningful reign. It doesn't have to be 2 years, damn near like Roosh was, but let it mean something, let it be worth it. And
if we're talking about things that are worth it, we got to say that following Ness on social media and seeing all of his different interactions with the wide world of the internet and other wrestling people is pretty damn cool. So Ness, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at skinny__Kravitz, right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, one half of Fusion of Honor. My man is StatKing, 1004 numbers, where we review MLW Fusion and Ring of Honor. Once again, was just at MLW Fusion's Battle Riot. Check the True Hill Heat Instagram page to see all that. Don't look at it if you don't want to be, get the show spoiled for you, because there are some spoilers there, but some pretty dope pictures. You can also catch me on Blunt Impact and Joints of Jabronis with Chris G, where we review Impact Wrestling. You can also catch me on NX3 with, once again, Chris G and Romeo Anthony Colon, where we review NXT. I'm the Roundtable Rebel. Catch me on the Roundtables. Make sure you watch the Best in the World. It wasn't a roundtable, Fusion of Honor special. Myself, StatKing. Be on the lookout.
They missed out. Whoever, because we have friends who watched that pay-per-view, but weren't able to be on the roundtable.
They weren't able to be on the roundtable, which is fine, because as much shit they give us for actually watching Ring of Honor, they really enjoyed the show.
They did.
So I don't care. You guys talk all the shit you want. You said you liked the show. You were invested. You took the time to watch it. So I'll take that. Well, also this weekend, be on the lookout for two roundtables. Slammiversary roundtable this Saturday night. Also, the Money in the Bank roundtable this Sunday. Roundtable Rebel, I'll be on both. And as always, you can hear my illustrious voice on True Toxicity.
And guys, you can catch me on Dark Power, covering AEW Dark, AEW Elevation, and NWA Power. You can also catch me in our Facebook groups, getting into fun conversations with you guys, like the gentleman who earlier this week tried to suggest that somebody giving an explanation or some background or giving the connection between why Malachi Black called Cody the racehorse and why he used the racehorse was an indicator that Malachi Black has already bombed and has already fallen on his face.
Yeah, I saw that. Look, guys, you don't want to really get into a conversation back and forth with the StatKing, because one, he'll make you look stupid without actually saying that you're stupid, because he knows what the fuck he's talking about. But this guy, he was just being a weirdo for no apparent reason. You know, just another AEW hater, blah blah blah, just talking shit. Oh, he's shitting on WWE, which that wasn't the case at all. But you know, people get their feelings hurt over this. It's not that serious, guys.
But I gotta say, while Ness is gonna be this Saturday checking out Slammiversary, I will be at Warrior Wrestling, and that's gonna have some pretty. I mean, for our show, for Fusion of Honor, it's gonna have some nice fusion matches because we're gonna see Richard Holiday in a tag match against the Varsity Blondes. There's gonna be Calvin Tankman versus Jordan Oliver, Danhausen, Ring of Honor versus Lee Moriarty, MLW, and this one's going to be really good. We have Jonathan Gresham, Ring of Honor, taking on newly signed to MLW, Davey Richards.
Yeah.
So that's going to be
a nice card.
That's going to be a nice one that I'm looking forward to seeing. So, guys, thank you once again for tuning in. Remember to hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. This is something that we enjoy doing every single week. We are friends who just discuss wrestling, and we happen to press the record button. So that's basically what this is. Yeah. So like, we appreciate all the support and all the love, and we give it all right back to you guys. So remember to take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and until next time, we'll catch you later. Peace. Where's the camera?